What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Driveway Podcast. We got a good one today. We got Natalie, Dave, and Matt. How is everybody doing? How are we feeling? Frazzled?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I feel like we haven't done this in a minute.
Well, we missed a week. There,
Well,
all of us
we
have.
didn't.
Except we.
For the audience, they have no idea.
Well, for the audience, we missed a week too.
Wait, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay, we all have kids.
Wait, why did we miss a week? What happened?
We all have kids,
Oh,
and
gosh.
kids in daycare, they get sick immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So, apologies. Thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for being here. Was there something else
gross.
that...
I just want to
Was
talk
more
about,
out of the ordinary?
about that for a moment. I love staying
Give me your
home
type
with my
5
daughter
on.
when she's sick. It's just, it's like it's weird how it's a kind of a special time for the two of us because CarGurus has incredible perks, one of which is unlimited sick days, which means when you have a 2-year-old, it's just like
Got to do
all
it.
winter, all winter basically. But my daughter had viral pink eye, not bacterial pink eye, which essentially is like a cold where pink eye is a symptom. This is not doctor advice.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer
at the bottom.
We do
bottom.
need a disclaimer.
TV.
Yeah.
But the problem is that Maisie has had a cold. My daughter's had a cold like virtually since end of November.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop her energy levels. So she's running around the house and bouncing off the walls and having a great time, but she can't go to daycare. So I got to the point where I
But
was
you're still
literally
paying
like,
for the daycare.
I just need you to lie on the couch
Yeah.
and watch Sesame Street so I can actually get some work done. And that didn't happen. But we had a great time.
Hey, we're back.
With pink eye.
Just her.
Yeah,
It
just
didn't transfer over. That is
Sir.
good.
Thank goodness.
Dave, any pink eye at your house with your 2 daughters?
No pink eye. I'm not going to jinx it. I mean, we're out here in
Good.
California. It's warm and sunny. I'm sure the minute this recording is done, I'm going to get a call from the school. Like, yeah, both your kids are sick.
Yeah.
No, we're healthy out here. Knock on wood. We've been through all of the things. I mean, my kids are 4 and 6 now. So we've done the cycles of, preschool and daycare just coming. And they're germ factories. It's gross. So we've paid our dues. We've had pink eye. We've had bacterial pink eye like you wouldn't believe a couple of years ago. So,
Well, listener, that
hits
was
all of
our
us.
tight 5 on
That's the
pink
doctor
eye.
corner. Yeah.
No, not medical advice. So, Dave, I was gonna, as a segue for this episode, ask you how the weather was in California. But you said
do you want to know?
It's
Because
been
you
nice
guys
and
just
sunny.
went through an epic storm. Like, do you really want to hear how beautiful it is out
Well, I didn't really, but I wanted to be able to say we just got like 2 feet.
Yeah,
of
wait,
snow.
did it snow in Pasadena?
I don't think so.
It did not snow in Pasadena. Yeah, I want to hear about your trials and
I
tribulations.
think I
over
saw
there.
like 40 states got snow.
It snowed here.
Oh, a little
definitely
bit.
snowed here.
A little bit. I think did we get 18 or 24 2 feet?
Oh, hold on. I took a picture of the snow stake in the backyard.
We got up to 2 feet, maybe more.
So this
maybe
was
less.
this was one of the weird storms where Massachusetts definitely got more snow than
Yeah.
New Hampshire. But don't you dare tell my parents who live in New Hampshire that Massachusetts got more snow than them. I was taking pictures of the yardstick in the backyard throughout the entire storm and sending it to
you
the
are
whole
my
family.
grandfather.
And every single
Lord,
time
yeah,
I
he
sent
is.
one, my dad would text the entire family back, basically just one-upping.
Yeah.
And I knew that at one point he
He's
texted
cutting
being like,
pieces off the bottom of his yardstick.
it was like 9 p.m. at night, and the snow had just started again in Massachusetts. And I was like, the snow's back. We're currently here, I'll tell you the actual number. Currently at 19 and a half inches here.
Okay.
And he sends one back being like, we're coming up on 21 or something like that. The snow's still going here. And I look at the radar, and it's like, there hasn't been snow in his part of New Hampshire in hours. I'm like, are we getting overly competitive
he's
here?
still dad.
Yeah, well.
I want to know, did you start doing that when you bought property, or have you been doing this your whole adult life? I want to know how much of like the progressive
when you became
commercial
dad.
The
you are.
snow stake?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's going to be a big storm, you got to know.
I've never done
Right?
it. I've never done it once.
Maybe this is behavior
Never done it
of,
once.
of Dave, I'm surprised to hear that because you're a fellow snow
grew up in-
belter.
Yeah, grew up in upstate New York. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got snow. Never did that. We would do like, it's like to the bottom of that tree, but
Wait,
get out of here with your yardsticks. No one measured it.
But when you were little, would you strip down to your underwear and jump off the back deck into the snow?
Oh, you gotta
Because we
do- you gotta
definitely
do it.
did that when I was growing up.
You got it.
No, we'd be fully clothed, but yeah, we would
Soft.
we weren't morons.
Well, that is the topic of our show. We're gonna eventually talk
Snow.
about
Snow.
yes, no,
Yeah. What's in
mainly
your
Best cars for
driveway?
snow.
We're gonna talk about
Snow.
it's all snow and ice. We're gonna talk about the best cars for snow and just a little bit about winter driving. But first, we have a little bit of news to get to. So snow is coming. Snow talk is coming. But first, Dave is going to walk us through our first bit of news about our favorite Stellantis brand.
Well, they're not our. That's the thing, is they're not our favorite. If you listen to our previous episodes about reliability, maybe you won't be so sad to hear this news. But Elliot, I don't know if you have like sad, lonely music you can play these cars off. Stellantis, so that's what? Ram, Chrysler, Dodge,
Jeep, Alfa Romeo, all the hits,
all the reliable ones. Stellantis has announced that their 4xe, which is all of their plug-in hybrid versions, so that's on the Wrangler, that's on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, it's the Chrysler Pacifica, they are discontinuing all of those. So that's, I don't know, I always thought that was an interesting product. I sort of liked particularly we talk about minivans all the time here. The Pacifica was a plug-in hybrid. The only downside on the Pacifica was you lost the stow and go seating, which was such a great feature on the Pacifica. But anyway, no more plug-in hybrids from Stellantis. So maybe the reliability scores will go up. But, if you have you see them, Jeep Wranglers in particular here in California. I don't know what it's like in Boston. The 4xe Wranglers are everywhere. I would say, I feel
better
like
deals.
Incredible
majority of the time.
We're giving them away.
Are they really? Okay.
They were, yeah.
I mean, it's a compelling package, right? You have, for your daily, I mean, the all-electric range wasn't great, but like I still see them plugged in all the time. Like that's kind of a compelling package. This big rugged Jeep that, you can take
the all-electric range
around town.
Really was not great.
It was like 22, right?
This was my biggest gripe with them. And like I actually am one of those sickos who still likes the Wrangler. I think it's a cool car. Every time I drive one, I'm kind of like, I'm into this. And who knows, maybe we'll get into that later. But the 4xe, so it has 17.3 kilowatt hour battery.
I thought it was going to say
that could do
miles.
Maximum 25 miles of driving range. Okay. And on the surface, you're like, oh, hey, a Jeep Wrangler, and I can get 25 miles. My commute is only 7 miles, and I'll never have to get gas, except for the fact that
the dream.
In Massachusetts, where gas is roughly $3 a gallon, electricity is 30 cents a kilowatt hour, which means those 17.3 kilowatt hours cost you $5.20. You're paying $5.20 to drive on electricity for 25 miles.
Matt did math.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper just to drive a regular gas Wrangler.
But you wouldn't have the cool blue.
Yeah, but no one gets into this for the cost necessarily.
Well,
like Wranglers are not cheap. If you're,
I think that's the advice.
Pinching pennies.
The advice
don't
is
buy a
don't
Wrangler
get
of any
into
kind.
it for the cost. I think a lot of people look at PHEVs and they do see it as a potential money saver.
Yeah.
And the Stellantis 4xe stuff, I mean, well, maybe not in California.
I don't think I agree. I think it's an environmental play.
Sure.
It's
environmental is a factor.
Because there is no plug-in hybrid. What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't think there's a cost. I would love to see a survey. I don't think cost factors into people's decision to buy a plug-in hybrid.
It would factor into mine.
Because there's like no scenario in which it pencils out over any period of time.
For me, it's
you have like a RAV4 plug-in and you have it for 10 years and you plug it in all the time. Yeah. That's like Mary Barra, the head of GM, recently was saying how few of plug-in hybrid owners actually plug it in. They have the data; they can tell.
I could not believe that she said it out loud.
That's the quiet thing.
I know. Yeah.
The media has been asking automakers this question for so long because we know they have the data and.
Yes.
Like they will not give the answer. The fact that Mary Barra said essentially nobody plugs these things in was jaw on the floor.
So you just get to carry around that heavy battery, making your gas mileage worse than it would have been otherwise.
That's right.
So the thing about the 4xe that surprised me is, as far as I know, and I don't have a source in front of me to say this, the Wrangler 4xe was the best-selling PHEV in the United States for years, wasn't it?
I don't have that in front of me. I can see that. They still sell a boatload of Wranglers.
It might be.
I'm certain I saw that somewhere. I can't.
I don't know if that's an indication of how popular the Wrangler 4xe is. I think that's an indication of how unpopular plug-in hybrids are, if that's the most popular one.
Yeah.
So it's like, which bums me out because conceptually a plug-in hybrid seems to offer so many advantages.
Yeah, and
like
it's
for your around town daily driving, you're all electric, and then you hit the road.
Totally.
Yes, you're lugging around a battery, but if we are American consumers, we like to be prepared for every scenario, even if we never encounter that scenario while we own that car.
It's the definition of a compromise.
So this seems to suit American buyers. Of like, you've got electric, and then if you get freaked out because you're about to take a road trip, which you could do in an electric car probably, you've got this gas version in the same vehicle.
We did when the Ford Bronco was re-released, in 2020, 2021, we did a Wrangler versus Bronco video, and the Wrangler we had was a 4xe, and it was the first time I had really driven off-road, and I did it in full EV mode. The engine was totally off, and it's silent, and you just hear the tires in the mud, and it's a really cool experience to be EV off-roading.
Yeah,
and I guess
a lot of advantages too.
Yeah, for sure.
For low speed crawling, and to have that torque very easily modulated. You're not trying to rev the throttle to get up rocks and stuff. No, EVs have a lot of advantages. A Rivian off road is pretty cool. Not a Cybertruck.
This isn't a pause and we'll reconsider. It's dead. It's done. Right.
I mean, one day they'll come back in a much better form, but it's dead. Yeah, I mean, Stellantis is shifting. They sort of jettison their TRX, they jettison all the supercharged engines, and they're and like a lot of V8 models, and now they're sort of bringing those back because that was the only thing that was selling.
Well, that's your little bit on the 4xe going away, but something that's coming back, that's newly returned, like maybe someday the 4xe will. Natalie's going to talk to us about something from Honda.
Yeah, the Honda Prelude is back, or they're reviving the nameplate anyway. Woo.
I love the careful phrasing there. You're like, is it really back?
Yeah. So here's the thing. So Mark drove it for us, Mark Takahashi. I have not actually driven it yet, but I've talked to friends who were on the drive. Yeah. I think we've all seen some articles coming out. By now, people who are listening have probably seen some articles coming out. Matt looks like he wants to say something. You opened your mouth.
You had a good preface earlier. You should say.
I just love that, this is an opportunity where we can be just like you, the audience. None of us have driven this car, but we're going to talk about it. Yeah. Darn it.
I have opinions about the opinions.
We got opinions.
Yes, I do. So there are a lot of opinions floating around. There are a lot of people who are, and this is always the risk when you revive a nostalgic nameplate, right? Like you're running up against the legacy and everything that people loved about the old one. That's why they're bringing it back. They want to capitalize on that, but that's a tough needle to thread. And so a lot of people are unhappy about the price of the Prelude. It starts at $42,000 before destination. Honda
must be fast, right?
A lot of people are unhappy about the power of the Prelude. So Honda has pointed out, first of all, that in today's dollars, it's actually a little less expensive than the old Prelude. I don't know if that's registering with anybody, but here's the thing. I think the target audience really wants to buy this thing used and is unhappy about how it is. But we have to vote with our dollars as car people, right? Like, people are so mad as if they're like the 15 people who bought the manual Civic Si. And there's a reason they're not making that anymore. Yeah. So yeah, I think they could give it more power. It would cost more. They can charge what they're charging for.
I don't know.
I don't know if I buy that. SI's manual?
I don't think they're making the coupe.
The coupe.
They
make the SI.
Well, first of all, hang on. The Prelude is not manual.
No.
So that's one of the
correct.
So that's one of the knocks people are saying of like, well, the people in favor of it are saying this is like a GT car. This is supposed to be comfortable. It's supposed to be like sort of sporty little coupe. It's not a sports car. So don't go into it thinking it was a sports car. It never was a sports car, right? Yep. It was a more sporty sedan-based vehicle. That's kind of what it is today. The people against it are saying, well, sorry, I was looking up Honda Civic Hybrid. So just for comparison, Honda Civic Hybrid starts at about $30,000. It goes up to about $35,000 for the sport touring. So I think what the people against it are saying, against the Prelude are saying, is like, you're looking at a loaded Civic Hybrid is $35,000, and this car is what, $8,000 more?
Yeah.
And what are you getting out of it? And 200 horsepower? I don't buy the argument that more power, it would have been more expensive. I think that's a cop-out. I think this, I'm not sure what the product planners at Honda were thinking. 200 horsepower, you could have made it, I don't know, 250. I feel like this is an artificial hedge because they don't want people choosing the Prelude over another model in Honda's lineup. It's 200 horsepower.
Honda has literally walked out here and said, guys, we've made a car that makes no sense for you to purchase with your own money. Like I'm not saying it's bad. Like the Civic Hybrid, we love. We say great things about that all the time. I think the Prelude looks really nice, but you've basically said, I mean, if you hit it right on the head, they've made a Civic Hybrid with fewer doors, the same amount of power, $8,000 more, and I think it has the suspension, the front suspension from the Civic Type R, which I'm sure people are definitely going to notice.
It's pretty.
It is, yeah.
It looks great.
It's really good.
I need to see it in person. I'm not the proportions. I got to see it in person. It looks like it's, I don't know, just the rear 3/4 angle. Yeah, I want to see it.
Even if you do think it's pretty, you can't look at it in today's market and be like, oh, it's pretty and people want it.
Well,
they don't sell 2-door cars anymore.
Remember, I thought the Honda Civic Hybrid was the best car of 2025. So
that's true.
I think that looks pretty too.
Yeah, but would you pay $8,000 more for a version?
Well, I don't own it at 35, so I don't even know if I'd pay 35 for it.
I bet you're really excited to put your 2 kids in the back seat of a Honda Civic Hybrid that doesn't have rear doors.
That'd be, yeah. No, I mean the seats. So Mark wrote our review, but also did our video, which you can watch now. Him sitting in the back seat is a funny image. Like he's not a big guy.
He's not that big. He's like 5'10".
He's 5'10", 5'11", but he's also pretty thin too. Like he's pretty in shape.
He's very healthy.
But to be fair to the Prelude, no one's going to buy it.
It's not supposed to be, but for
sure.
What are the seats there for if you can't sit in them?
Insurance.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Rear seats, you have lower insurance.
Sure.
And like for practicality, it's storage space if you're not putting humans back there. It's a weird, Matt was right. It's a weird proposition of like, something had to give. Either it needs to be cheaper or more powerful. There's not enough there to get people across the line. Be like, yes, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Like
it does kind of feel like it's spelling the demise of the SI. Because like if they were gonna make a new Prelude and they wanted performance to be top of mind, like they're picking the engine or the powertrain that they think is has the longer horizon for performance, and like they picked the Civic Hybrid, which they made a big deal about being more powerful than the Civic SI. Mm-hmm. So it does make me wonder, like, is the SI? What happens to that? Like, is that being replaced by the sport touring hybrids? I kind of hope not.
I hope not. Yeah, the SI. Well, the SI has such great.
Everything.
It's a well-executed product right now, but it also has there's so much equity in the SI name for Honda enthusiasts. Like, that seems weird that they wouldn't keep using it.
Well, to Natalie's point earlier, like you want to leverage these names that have that equity. Like, can you imagine how people would revolt if SI suddenly was a automatic transmission hybrid?
Honda's smarter than that.
The city would burn, I tell you.
Honda's smarter than that.
Honda's smarter. I do like. I feel like we're in this market where everyone's like, well, we got rid of the Impreza hatchback because people didn't buy them enough, and like we saw Impreza hatchbacks everywhere, and the Honda's over here being like, we made a car that no one's gonna buy.
All right, so that was your little bit of news. Now we're gonna get into the actual topic of the show, why you maybe clicked on this thumbnail. We're talking about snow, cars in the snow, what it's like to drive in the snow. If you live in one of the 40 states that got snow, you're dealing with this now to varying degrees. So there's a lot of nuance to driving in snow, and there's a lot of features in cars that are built for snow, and sometimes we're not sure what all of them means.
Should we share our bona fides for a moment?
Our bona fides?
You're hailing from Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Plenty of snow there?
Plenty of snow. So my parents normally get more snow than we do here in Boston. And so yeah, I've grown up, been around snow my whole life.
Natalie, also a seasoned snow driver?
Yeah, first upstate New York, central New York, Syracuse, and then my parents are outside Philly. They've just moved to West Reading, PA, so further out in your direction.
Closer to me.
And again, got maybe more snow than we did here this past weekend, at least.
Yeah.
So.
Also, just to clarify, Altoona is on the Pittsburgh side of the state.
Yeah.
So
we're heading. We're heading west.
You're heading towards the west side.
Getting away from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
You're a Yinzer.
I'm a Yinzer for sure.
And Dave, although you live in Pasadena, I mean, you can't be a California boy all the way through because you root for the Buffalo Bills.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, like Natalie, I don't know if I knew you were from Syracuse. I grew up in Ithaca, New York, also central New York.
Yeah.
And then spent a lot of time in the Adirondacks, which is like northern New York. My whole family now lives in Burlington, Vermont. So lots of snow. I remember when I was, how old was I? 15. I didn't have my driver's license yet. My dad took me to an empty parking lot in the middle of a driving snowstorm. And I was like, all right, we're going to learn snow. And basically get the car out of control and figure out how to steer into it and get it back into control. And this was like early enough that like I don't think we had the snow tires on the car for that season yet. And I'll never forget that. And it's sort of instinctive. So it started then. And then, he sort of lit a match that then I'd go out in, empty parking lots on purpose. I had a rear-wheel drive Volvo.
That's what we do.
Can't put it back in
college. And we would, the Volvo was rear-wheel drive, perfect car to do donuts and all that. We would go sledding behind it in snowstorms in college.
Yeah. And Matt, did you say where you're from?
I grew up in Painted Post, New York.
For those that don't know Painted Post.
Yeah, a hamlet.
Where might that be?
Hamlet of Corning, New York. The northern reaches of Appalachia.
I was about to say, for those who don't know where Corning is.
Plenty of snow.
It's way better than Unpainted Post. That counts.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
It's an upkept town.
The real ones, we know where the post is.
It's measuring the snow.
It's not where you think it is.
Yeah, it's measuring snow.
You think it's in the center of town. That's not the real one.
So the speed round that was going to be at the end of the episode, I'm bringing it up.
Oh,
it kind of goes along with our bona fides. Basically, it's
our bona fides.
But yeah, I like bona fides. I know that's not how you say it, but I like it. Basically, when is like just a quick memory or time that the snow defeated you? Just like that you couldn't get past it and it beat you.
Couldn't anymore.
Because I'm the one that wrote the question. I'm going to go first. You guys can think.
Let's hear it.
Quebec, for those that are in the know. We were staying in like a log cabin kind of place at the top of a hill, and I had a Ford Focus front wheel drive. I have no idea what the tires were. They were all seasons probably.
Probably bald.
Could not get up, and we had a couple friends there, and I could get to a certain point on the hill. So we had like 6 guys waiting on that part of the hill, and once I got there, they tried to like each grab a part of the car and push like halfway up the hill. It didn't work at all. So my friend had to come by in his Mazda CX-5 with snow tires and get us up the hill. And my car just waited at the bottom of the hill for the whole weekend. So
wow,
that is my time. There's scarier times, but not as fun. Do you have a?
I have one. Yes. So
this must be because you looked at the question early.
I lived in Boston. Well, yes, but remember I had to ask Elliot for clarification. What do we mean by this question? So I lived in Boston in 2015. Were you guys here at that point? You remember when it snowed every weekend and like every Monday schools were closed and everything was canceled?
There was a pile of snow in the seaport until like June.
There was a pile of snow in the parking spot I paid for until like April when I finally went out and shoveled what was left. But that is my story. So I lived in an apartment in Allston. I was paying for a parking spot. I think it was like $125 a month, which felt like a lot then. And
that's great today.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was keeping in my parking spot my motorcycle and my Mini Cooper S.
Oh my God!
Wait, you had a motorcycle?
She's a lot cooler than all of us.
Wow, you're so much cooler than all of us combined. I had no idea.
Suzuki GS450. I still have it, but it's in Maine. I'm somebody's mom now, Just kidding. That's not why. It's not the baby's fault.
It's not the baby's fault.
It's not his fault. It's not your fault, John. Anyway, so I was at my then boyfriend, now husband's house over the weekend, got snowed in, come back. They have plowed the parking lot and they just decided, oh, hey, this spot is empty. And they plowed all of the snow into my spot. And I felt like I had to keep paying for it because my motorcycle was buried under there.
Oh, it was there.
My goodness.
Yeah. So, but
I'm amazed the motorcycle worked when it.
Oh yeah. That thing starts
Suzuki,
right up all the time.
Yeah.
No trouble with that. But yeah, my Alex came over, tried to help me shovel it out, and it was just like, this is ridiculous. This is not something a human can handle, and it took months for it to melt.
It probably started to ice, and it was just
it was terrible.
It was
and
encased.
Then I was parking on the street, which that was a whole thing, and I got a ticket for parking too far from the curb. And I said, come down here and show me where the curb is. Yeah. And they said, you still have to pay it. So
yeah.
If they're listening,
that's a Boston-based business if I've ever heard.
That is a Boston.
Yeah.
Dave, we'll go down the line. It is your turn.
Yeah. Okay. So growing up, again, upstate New York, I was in high school. This is a senior year of high school. I had a kind of a strict curfew, and we lived way outside of town. So I had to, like, you're hanging out with your friends. I had to leave, they hang out pretty early at night. So I'm racing home to make it to curfew. And our house, we lived on a dirt road outside of Ithaca. Our house was down from the road, and it was a pretty steep driveway. And this is the middle of the winter. So I come, flying up the road. It had been snowing all night, and go to turn into the driveway and absolutely miss our driveway. Now, for clarity, I'm stone cold sober. I was not extracurricular.
Thank you.
Miss
for the
actual driveway. yeah. Our lawyers were like, no. Missed the actual driveway, and so the driveway on either side was a pretty steep embankment down, and just stuffed the car off the driveway into the steep embankment at the top of the driveway. The car, I get out, the car front wheels, like the snow is past the front wheels of the car. The rear wheels, it's a station wagon. The rear wheels are sticking out in the air. So the car is like, and I'm like, it's like 11:59 and my curfew is midnight. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do at this point in the middle of the night. The car is safe. It'll be there in the morning. And I like run down the driveway. I had to go in, kiss my parents, good night. So they knew I was home, went to bed. Don't say anything. I'm just like, go to bed. We'll resolve as a 17-year-old boy logic. Like, we'll figure this out. The next morning, my dad wakes up, goes out to the kitchen, and he's sitting there and he's drinking some coffee. And from the kitchen, you can sort of see through the living room and then kind of up the driveway, but like right at the tip. And so he's sitting there drinking, and he's like, you could sort of see through the trees at like the top of the driveway. It was like kind of this, and the car was like greenish. There's like kind of this green thing. And he sort of squats down and he realizes he's looking at like the rear 3/4 of the car sticking up in the air. And he's like, what the holy heck is this? He used different words, and I'm sound asleep, hadn't said anything. So needless to say, I got woken up bright and early. We had to call a neighbor who had a massive tractor and sort of extricate this thing. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to drive that car for a little while.
Well, you're still safe. You made it out.
Still safe. Made it out. Yep. The car, that was the worst car we ever owned.
Matt, you're betting cleanup.
Undefeated. I've never gotten stuck in the snow.
Okay, great. We'll move on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A high school car.
It's that yardstick. He always knows the depth, so he knows how to drive.
I had the XJ Cherokee with like big Kragar wheels and snow tires. And then, after that, like I've always had Subarus. I've been the guy who had the car that didn't get stuck.
You're the one that we call.
Now I do a lot of skiing.
Yeah.
So I've been around a lot of people who have been stuck.
Yeah.
I was in my friend's Audi. It was a 1991 Audi 200 Turbo. It was black.
Classic.
Pretty cool car.
Yeah.
Not great car, but pretty cool car. And he did spin that one going down the access road from like maybe Magic Mountain, I think, in Vermont. I can't remember. But we got that one stuck in the ditch on the side of the road. And just like chilled for a while. Somebody came and pulled us out, but I remember we had Van Morrison on the radio, and so even when we did get stuck, we were pretty relaxed about it.
Matt's a 65-year-old man.
Yeah, I am a 65-year-old man. I got my Bob Weir sweatshirt on. R.I.P. Miss you, Bobby. But yeah, I've never personally been beaten by the great white darkness.
All right.
Time is coming.
Great white darkness.
I was going to say. Now it's coming.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, there's always the first time. Okay. So
you gotta know what you're doing, guys. You got to know the tips.
And that's what we can talk about. I'll tell you what. Matt's already talking.
Oh,
all right.
Surprise.
We're gonna jump.
Is this the podcast?
One little bit ahead. Your thing you were gonna talk about is winter tires versus all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So is it better to have all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive with winter tires? There's a ton that goes into it, but talk about that a little bit.
This is such a sticky
You seem
point.
like a guy who puts winter tires on his car in the winter.
Okay, so this is why it's coming for me, because I always did. For years and years, I've always had winter tires on winter wheels. Yeah. And anybody who's lived in Boston for the last 10 years has seen that our winters used to be very snowy and now
2015
are just kind of like 35 degrees and wet.
Gross, yeah. Just gray.
And then like once in a while we get 2 feet of snow and I say, shoot, why didn't I put the winter tires on? tires are definitely like that's the part that touches the ground. That's when it comes to traction, both in terms of getting going and more importantly, stopping. Winter tires will help you more than just all-wheel drive.
And turning.
Yes, for sure. I do think like it's kind of a like, I don't love the argument. Yes.
What argument?
I would probably prefer to have a front wheel drive car with snow tires, with a set of 4 snow tires, than an all wheel drive car with all seasons or certainly like summer tires. But like that does not mean that all wheel drive with snow tires still isn't the best option.
Sure.
Like if you're going to buy all-wheel drive or if you're going to buy snow tires, you should buy those snow tires regardless of whether you have a front-wheel drive car or an all-wheel drive car.
Yeah. Great point.
Don't say I don't need snow tires because I have all-wheel drive. And similarly, don't say I don't need all-wheel drive. I have snow tires. The all-wheel drive will help.
Yeah.
You will have a better, more capable winter vehicle.
But basically, if there's a car that doesn't offer all-wheel drive, there are many.
Yeah.
You can put winter tires on those and feel generally okay, mildly confident in a winter.
See, this is
that
what I would say is just
showing.
like,
my point is, if you're thinking I know I'm going to need winter tires, your mind should also be saying, I know that I should be buying an all-wheel drive car. I don't think we need to unlink them that much.
No.
There are anecdotally around here there are a ton of Honda Odysseys.
There are.
That their all-wheel drive is not an option. So do you have to get the Sienna with all-wheel drive and put winter tires, or are you okay getting the Odyssey and putting on winter tires?
In preparing,
I think it depends on
preparing for this.
It depends on how you're going to use it.
Yeah,
it depends on how you're going to use it. I do think I just don't want anyone to listening to this thinking oh my gosh, if I don't have all-wheel drive, I'm screwed. I'm going to be driving in inclement weather. Tires matter everything and make all the difference in the world. Put your money and your focus on tires. They're not sexy, and I think that's where it gets people. It's not this like cool. It's not a badge on your car. There's nothing mechanical about it. Tires will save your life. Like get good tires in the winter.
I think
they
people
help
also
you turn, like Matt said. They help you slow down, which is most important. I think in a previous episode, I talked about when we were visiting my folks in Vermont. Blinding like ice storm set in, and I had to drive 10 miles from my parents' house to my sister. Excuse me, from my sister's house to my parents' house. My sister had a Honda Odyssey with killer snow tires, like great snow tires.
Yeah.
Or we had my dad's, my parents' Subaru Outback, late model, most recent version, with like normal, not studded snow tires, but like normal tires,
regular siped.
We took the Honda Odyssey with the studded snow tires because I knew we were going to be driving down hills in ice, trying to make turns, trying to brake. And I knew I'd rather have all that traction that the tires are giving me, the safety, the grip on the road. Because like Matt said, perfect point. It's the only part of the car touching the road. I would rather have that van with those tires than an all-wheel drive Subaru with just sort of average tires. And we got home safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to impress upon people the importance of tires. You're right. Yeah, get all-wheel drive too. It's going to make a big difference. But tires are where I'd focus.
It just feels like it's a safety thing, right? And if you're looking at it from the lens of safety, and I don't think that shoppers might not realize how many vehicles are available today with all-wheel drive. Yes, the Honda Odyssey is not, but like we have a list that we compiled for this in researching this episode of almost 140 cars that we've
We're
reviewed.
We're going to go through every one of them.
Reviewed that have are available with all-wheel drive. Like all-wheel drive is not some like hard to find feature.
Sure.
And if you're thinking about it in safety, don't say, "Oh, I can skip this part of the equation if I pay for that part of the equation."
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, if you're focused on a car that is peak capability in winter weather, get the all-wheel drive and get the snow tires. Yeah. Don't do one or the other. I guess the only thing is like if it's truly down to nickels and dimes and you have to make that decision, the tires are, that's the part that's touching the ground. So focus on the tires.
And safety too. Like that's the one that's actually, if we're talking pure safety, that's what's going to keep you safer if you put your money in really good tires, because that is what is turning.
Sure.
If you are trying to get around an obstacle or not hit the ditch, and that is what is helping the car brake. All-wheel drive, you can have all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, seven-wheel drive. It's not going to make any difference when you hit the brakes on that car. The tires are what makes the difference.
Natalie, you were going to say something at one point. Is it still relevant?
10 minutes ago. It was when Dave was saying about tires aren't sexy.
Yeah.
I think also
Some of them
like
are.
they're not. Well, sure.
Some good tires.
not winter
naked ladies on
tires.
them.
Yeah.
I think also people don't think about it a lot because it's not what is being advertised so
Yeah.
much. Like they're selling you a car with all-wheel drive. They're not selling you a car that comes with snow tires. But that also means that you can put them on whatever you're buying used as well.
Right, sure.
Fascinatingly unadvertised.
Yeah.
Like most,
Yeah.
I don't know the stock tire for most vehicles out there. I
I
know for a
probably
while, like
couldn't
Hyundai was putting Michelins on them, and I was like, ooh, they should.
Only
they
in a
should like
performance
trumpet
context
this.
do I know.
because-
Like, yeah.
Right, yeah. Performance
Then they're
cars, maybe you
talking
see
about
it.
but yeah. Yeah, and on the front wheel drive versus all wheel drive too. I mean, a lot of people are buying used, and like you're buying what you can get. So then tires
And
are an
afford,
option.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what, guys? A used Subaru is cheap.
Yeah.
Real cheap.
Not everyone wants that.
I have personally never had winter tires on a vehicle.
Natalie's dying
Same.
over here.
I have also never actually put winter tires on a vehicle,
Yeah.
but that's not to my credit.
Yeah. If I had winter
I've had all
tires,
seasons.
maybe I would have been able to get up the hill in Quebec. Okay,
Yeah. Let me reiterate. Undefeated. Okay.
so we talked a little bit about front wheel drive versus all wheel drive. There are different types of all wheel drive systems. Natalie,
Not all created equal.
not all
Not
are
all
created
created
equal. So Natalie,
equal.
take it away.
True. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about electronic versus traditional mechanical all-wheel drive. So, and especially because we see this a lot with, for example, the Toyota lineup, where the trucks have mechanical all-wheel drive, but something like the Sienna, which you mentioned, or the Camry now, all-wheel drive. So what that means with mechanical, all four wheels are mechanically linked to the engine through the transfer case. In an electronic all-wheel drive system, there is an independent electric motor, in this case on that rear axle. We're talking about a front-wheel drive vehicle. In the case of, for example, the Corvette E-Ray, it's on the front axle, and the rear wheels are what's driven by the gas motor. But what this means is that the car cannot send 50% of its power to the front and 50% to the rear. It's got just this little electronic extra engine powering its non-primary axle. So it's still a lot better than two-wheel drive. It's still going to get you extra traction, and it's still good for pretty much any loose surface. It's certainly better, but that's the difference. If you're seeing that,
Cool.
That's what
Is it?
So it's more of like a
means.
performance enhancer than like a true traction. I'm going to get up a mountain.
Yeah, and it's also much better for fuel efficiency because you're not driving
Yeah.
all four wheels all the time.
Right.
Similar to part-time versus full-time.
Instead of 50-50, is it like 70-30-ish, 75-25?
It all depends on
90-10?
that electric motor.
Sure,
for,
sure.
But I think of it, you were talking about your story in Quebec. It's kind of like it's the built-in guy who comes in and pushes the back of the car when you need it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's good. I like
Yeah,
that. That's
if you
good.
could have just added
Yeah,
it in there.
if you can just do it with the front wheels, it'll just do it with the front wheels. But when it's the computer senses like getting some slipping or something back there, it can engage that
Yeah.
rear motor, and then Ted comes up and gives you a little push.
Well, if it's Quebec, it's like Jean-Luc. And he's got like a
right.
cigarette. Like, hey, I'll get you out of the snow, okay? And then he pushes you.
I needed a Jean-Luc. Okay, cool. So again, we've talked a lot about all-wheel drive. We haven't said the word four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Dave, do you want to take a shot at explaining what the difference is between all-wheel drive
Like
and
a
four-wheel
giant
drive?
asterisk at the bottom.
Because
yes.
I
Okay.
don't
So,
know.
okay, a couple of easy ways to sort of figure out the difference between all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive is very old. All-wheel drive is the newer, more sophisticated system. Four-wheel drive, you have to physically do something to put the car into four-wheel drive. So you will know your car will either have a button, if at best, or a lever, or like the old school. We had an Isuzu Trooper where I think to get it out of four-wheel drive, you had to manually unlock the hubs and then back the car up a certain amount. But four-wheel drive is sort of old school. There is a transfer case that you are engaging or disengaging, usually the front axle, right? If when it's in two-wheel drive, it'll be the rear-wheel drive. You are sort of manually engaging the four-wheel drive system, and so you will know. It's an action you have to take. All-wheel drive is a more sophisticated system where it's engaging when it is sensing wheel slippage, right? And which wheels it's engaging sort of depends on the vehicle and the system you have. But generally, all-wheel drive is nice that you don't really need to think about it. You don't need to turn it on. Some cars will have certain modes where you can have, you can sort of select whether it engages or not. Another thing, all-wheel drive is generally better for most situations, particularly on the road. Four-wheel drive, and I don't want to get people's eyes glazing over with physics, but four-wheel drive is not great when you have it engaged on a paved surface, because when you are turning, the outside wheels are turning at a different speed in a vehicle than the inside wheels. All-wheel drive allows for that. It allows for the wheels to turn, to rotate at different speeds. Four-wheel drive does not, because it is locking those axles at the same speed. So if you are in a vehicle on pavement with four-wheel drive and you take a sharp turn, you're going to know it, because the wheel, it's going to sort of hop or make the noises because it's sort of dragging one of the wheels. So generally, for most people's use case, all-wheel drive is what you want to aim for. It's also more fuel efficient. People who would want to look at four-wheel drive would be people towing, because usually the towing capacity is higher. Or if you are going to be taking it off-road in like meaningful off-road conditions where four-wheel drive has an advantage. And here's what I didn't know in researching this. Some vehicles can have all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. They're not mutually exclusive.
Yep.
I don't know why I never sort of, I think maybe in the back of my head I knew that, but you'll see that in trucks.
Yeah, there's also, there's like a lot of semantic stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like Jeep always marks their cars as four-wheel drive. But like their Select Track system, I'm pretty sure, like, so it's essentially like a full-time four-wheel drive, which is operating like an all-wheel drive, but it has a low-range transfer case. So like you can select,
which makes it four-wheel drive.
Exactly. Yeah. So like there is like a little bit of tomfoolery with the badge that they put on the back of the car.
We love some tomfoolery
and whatnot. But yeah, Dave.
Yeah, but just know that some automakers will conflate that. Like there are certain websites sometimes you'll see conflating all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. Oh, they're the same thing. They're not the same thing. And most likely the vehicle you're looking at is all-wheel drive. And like Matt said, maybe there's an instance where it has a feature that is part-time four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you, Professor Underkoffer, for taking us to school there.
Should we talk about some cars?
I think we're going to go straight to
talk
cars.
about cars.
We've gone a little bit. So,
what's this podcast about?
we talk about driving in snow. This is crucial stuff. But we're going to talk about cars, and we each brought a couple cars that we can highlight. We're going to go over the crossover and SUV section first. Then we're going to do pickup trucks, and we're going to do a quick wrap up at the end about actual cars, sedans, coupes, maybe. So, Matt, why would somebody choose a crossover for the snow?
Why?
Why?
Well,
I thought we were just choosing our cars.
So ground clearance is the big reason.
That's
right?
the big one.
And my selection actually is largely because of that. So a lot of times you look at an SUV or crossover and you think, like, if it's going to have high ground clearance, it's probably going to be this big hulking thing. Subaru kind of goes against that.
What?
Yeah. So the Subaru Crosstrek.
You're choosing a Subaru?
Subaru Crosstrek is like the size of a sneaker. It's this little, easy to drive in the city compact car, but it still has in its like base trim, you still get, I think, 8.7 inches of ground clearance.
Sounds right.
It is one of those like, hey, I can drive this in the city. Yeah. And I'm not going to worry about, scraping the front end on that chunk of ice that the plow left in the middle of the road. I particularly like the Crosstrek Hybrid because, to Natalie's point, that uses a mechanical all-wheel drive system. So it gets you 36 miles per gallon thanks to its hybrid powertrain, but it doesn't sacrifice its traction and its all-wheel drive capability because it's doing it with Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, which is their typical.
That's a mechanical all-wheel drive now, isn't it?
all-wheel drive system.
Do other Subarus not have the symmetrical all-wheel drive?
No. All Subarus do.
I thought you were saying the Crosstrek Hybrid was an exception.
No. But most hybrid crossovers don't have that mechanic. So I just
Subaru's
feel like
known
it's
for that full-time all-wheel drive.
And it's a best of both worlds scenario in a package that's like really tidy and small. And I think a lot of people who live in cities. It's the car they want.
Yeah.
It is a little expensive, but that's probably a conversation for another
But like
episode.
you said, more capable than your standard crossover hybrid.
Right.
Because it still has that Subaru stuff to it. Cool.
How was that? Was that quick?
That was good. That was quick.
Do you guys like it?
That was
Do you like
succinct.
the choice?
Good brevity.
I like it. So we have a couple really good social videos that Matt did when we were, where were we? Somewhere.
We were in the shadow of Mount Adams.
Yeah, what state was it?
Southern Washington.
Washington, that's right.
We flew in out of Oregon, but we drove up to Washington.
Really love the car. That color little aggressive. That yellow-green
not into the color. I think I might be driving this car soon. I can't remember. Again.
So Matt chose something small and tidy, good for the city. Natalie, you have something that is not that.
Yeah.
But what are you bringing?
Yeah, so I was thinking of a few different things that I have actually experienced recently. And I had a couple, but the one I landed on is the Nissan Armada. Partly because I want to shout out the relatively new Pro 4X trim that was new for 2025. So that's part of what makes the Armada a great choice. To Dave's point, though, about automakers conflating all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, I'm seeing in the 2026 materials, they're calling it four-wheel drive. When I drove it in 25, they were calling it all-wheel drive, and I'm not so sure that the system has changed. However, so they expanded the Armada lineup for 25. So there's now the Platinum Reserve, which when I reviewed it, I wrote it challenges the value in stepping up to the QX80, the Infinity version. It's really, really nice. And then again, we've got the new Pro 4X, which is known as Nissan's more rugged, more capable trim that's got more ground clearance, approach and departure angles, and probably your choice if you're concerned about traction. But yeah, I really enjoyed that SUV, spending some time in it.
I liked it too. I had the QX80 and the Armada 1 week after the other.
Oh, that's a nice
and
contrast,
it made me feel like, well, the Armada's the choice. But again, if you're buying a QX80, you're probably not quite as concerned about the money. But I think the Armada was awesome.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
It's a big tower as well.
Big tower.
8,500 pounds.
A lot of toe.
That's a lot.
How many elephants is that, Matt?
That's a lot of toe.
That's a good question.
you work on that. I say that because we did a review where
African or Asian elephant.
I don't know. I don't know my elephants.
The African elephants are really big.
Matt used to refer to toe figures by elephant rating.
Weighting also probably works.
It's roughly one Asian elephant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like half of an African elephant.
You learn the more you know. Dave, what crossover / SUV are you bringing to the table?
So I like where Natalie's head's at because I'm basically just choosing, the Chevy version of the Armada, which is the Chevy Tahoe, right? True four-wheel drive, like our earlier conversation, not all-wheel drive, true four-wheel drive, sits up tall, got the ground clearance Matt was talking about. You can get it with a diesel, although if you're driving in cold a lot, you don't want to quite do that, lest it gel. A lot of space, safety. They just refreshed it for 25. I was just in the Suburban, which is effectively a similar vehicle. Very nicely executed, just feels well built. Nice big screens, room for everybody. That's my pick. I think it's a great hauler. It'll get you over whatever snowbank you're trying to get through. It can tow stuff. I'm a fan.
I almost said Suburban, and then I said to Elliot, here are a few I'm considering, and he was like, Armada will give us more variety. So I'm right there with you on the Tahoe choice too.
That's producing right there.
I'm thinking this through.
I've always been a big Tahoe fan and Suburban. Frankly, a little more of a Suburban fan than Tahoe fan. Although I like the
Matt and the Suburban go way back.
Yeah, the Suburban's a great car. We all go way back with the
and
Suburban.
If you go way back in our podcast archive, you'll hear more about that. We've discussed it before.
We have. Okay. Tahoe's a really good choice. Not to loop back to the Crosstrek, but to kind of like I just want to talk about that ground clearance bit.
You were so good. No, you're so good, and you were brief, and now here we're back.
Tahoe,
we're back.
In certain
Matt,
trims,
your Subaru is showing.
In certain trims, you can get up to like 10 or 11 inches of ground. Like some of them are, but like a standard Tahoe. 8 inches of ground clearance.
No one's buying a standard Tahoe.
You look at the size of that car. That's
a rental.
That truck. And then you're like, oh, that must have more ground clearance than this Air Force One sneaker that Subaru is making. And yet Subaru, they're all stacked up there. All right, that's it. I'm done.
All right. Done. We've come around to me. So the car I'm bringing, guys, there might be a little bit of recency bias in my head, but this week I was delivered. If you have the means, I highly recommend a Land Rover Defender. Okay,
was it an Octa?
It is an Octa,
and a good mechanic.
I don't know about long-term reliability. I don't think it's stellar, but
what's the ground clearance?
I don't have the ground clearance number.
Get out of here with your ground clearance.
I do have a Land Rover Defender Octa parked around the corner because I couldn't get into the building today. It starts at $152,000. and there's a higher one.
So explain what the Octa is.
The Octa,
that's the baller version.
Ford has the Raptor. Hyundai has the N. What else? What else has the
BMW N.
Toyota has a TRD Pro.
All those things. So Octa is Land Rover's like big beefy. Jeep has the 392. That's the one I was trying to think of. It is a 4.4 liter twin turbo mild hybrid V8.
It's a BMW engine.
I love it.
And it is 626 horsepower.
Oh, is that a lot?
Yes. It's a lot. You're driving along.
I love it.
You press the Octa button at the bottom of the steering wheel. The shifters are like a transparent plastic and they turn red. Oh. So you know you're in Octa mode, and it's
that's cool.
It's fun. Though what I'm coming across, it's very wide. And it's wide enough that it requires those orange lights in the
clearance lamps.
Yeah.
Wow. And like the Raptor.
Yeah. And the streets around here aren't super wide to begin with, and after 2 feet of snow, they get significantly trimmer. But with this car, and I'm not sure what tires are on it, you can dip into the snow a little bit. You don't even know it's there.
I mean, it has 12.7 inches of ground.
Does it?
It's 4 more than a
how
Subaru
much snow
Crosstrek.
did we get? It was more than 12.7 inches, wasn't it?
I'm smitten with this car. Okay.
Wait, Elliot, what does it sound like? Because I feel like it's got to sound cool.
It sounds like the Raptor, like the 392. It sounds beefy. It's loud, especially when you put it in.
Is there like an active exhaust? Can you turn on and off?
I just got it yesterday.
He's had it for 48 hours.
I haven't done all of my research on it yet, but when you put it into Octa, you hear a lot more. I don't know if it's pumped in or if it's real.
Probably both.
But I love it either way.
Cool.
It's a really fun car. I'm going to spend as much time as I can with it this loan period. So,
would you recommend all Defenders, or if they're going to get a Defender, they have to get
I think if you're going to go Defender, you got to go Octa.
It's $150,000.
It's like twice as expensive.
No, I know.
As the
literally.
More than twice.
And the Bronco Raptor, I think it's almost half the price of this Octa. So like even the high end like Super Bronco was still dramatically cheaper than this. So I've always liked the Defender. I've shot a Defender video with both of you separately that weren't the Octa, you know.
It didn't exist yet.
But I'm a big fan. I think everybody should go out and buy one. That's what I think.
That and a Civic Hybrid.
Maybe lease it.
Yeah, a Civic Hybrid. You know,
one Civic Hybrid, one Defender Octa. Okay, those are our choices for crossover SUVs. We're going into the truck conversation next, and we're going to do the same order. So Matt, you are up for the truck. What are you bringing in the truck category?
I'd like to preface by saying that I have no notes about this vehicle, so my choice is entirely vibes, and it's the Jeep Gladiator.
Now, I'm glad Subaru doesn't make a truck, because we know what that would be.
I'm not saying that the Jeep Gladiator is the best choice for everything. I'm not saying it's the most reliable choice. I'm not saying it's the most cost-effective choice. I'm saying if there is a metric ton of snow between you and wherever you need to go, nothing is going to make you feel quite like a Jeep Gladiator does. Yeah.
I agree.
Talk about ground clearance. They tower over that snow. And good choice. I mean, granted, like there's a difference between an all-terrain tire and a snow tire, and surprise, all-terrain tires, not all-terrain, because they're pretty terrible in the snow, but a Gladiator with snow tires, I can't think of many vehicles that are more unstoppable than that one.
Well, and also many Gladiator trims come with pretty serious off-road tires stock. So it's not like something you need to be considering of like, oh gosh, do I need to run out and then spend $2,000 more on beefy tires? Most come with like Goodyear or like name brand kick-ass tires.
Yeah, but all-terrain tires are not good in the snow. I have driven a number of I had a TRD Pro Tacoma with the stock all-terrain tires in Little Cottonwood Canyon outside Salt Lake City a few winters ago. You know, snow stacked on the side of the road higher than the vehicle. Extreme. I hope our friends at Toyota are not listening, because it was terrifying as I started to head down the hill and the car it was like I was in a toboggan. It was just sliding down the snow-covered road from our condo.
And what tires did it
have? Honestly,
not winter tires.
They were the standard all-terrain tires that come on the TRD Pro Tacoma.
Okay.
I have them somewhere in my inbox. I'm gonna find the answer for you.
Okay. Well,
this is an unpaid plug. We're not sponsored by them. that'd be great if
we're
you'd
accepting
like to,
sponsorships.
We're accepting sponsorships. I have had 3 old school SUVs, 2 old school Land Cruisers, and I now have an '88 Toyota 4Runner. On all 3, I have used BF Goodrich KO2 tires. Love these tires; they're great on the street, but also they're great in snow. There is, and here's a thing I didn't know growing up in the West Coast, or growing up in the East Coast, living out here in the West Coast. When you drive up to the mountains, there are 3 different stages of road conditions, chain controls. So, like level 3, all vehicles have to have chains on the tires.
Yeah.
Level 2, if you have tires like mine, they will let you pass. If you don't, and you have all season tires, then you need to have chains. So I have driven up and gone past chain gangs where they are checking. The DOT guys are there checking to make sure everyone has chains. And I've cruised right through the checkpoint in my KO2s and then taken them into some gnarly snow, and I've loved it. So if anyone's listening, you can get tires. I don't think they're not snow specific is my point. Yet they've been very effective in the snow and safe.
Yeah, they're not 3-peak tires, but I assume they're M&S rated. So I go skiing every year. And usually call up an automaker and ask them, hey, can I borrow a car for my trip?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest challenges is talking with the fleet coordinators and saying, but can you send me a photo of the tire? Because you're right, Dave. There are some mountain passes where like they'll be standing on the side of the road checking people's tires, and they won't let you up if you don't meet the requirements. And anybody who's had to purchase chains for their tires on vacation knows that this is just like a $250 expense that you weren't planning for, and you will never be able to use ever again because it's not your car.
Natalie.
Trucks. Again,
trucks.
Going off of
you
personal
love trucks.
Experience.
I like your choice. I want to hear about this choice.
So I chose the GMC Sierra EV. Again, because of personal experience, and you can watch the video that Elliot and I made, full video review on it, where I talk more about this. But I had it for a week. That happened to be a week when I was driving from Boston to Utica to visit family, Utica, New York, in January. So it snowed a lot. After this past weekend, I can't call it a snowstorm, but it snowed.
It was a snow event.
An awful lot. And this was great. It was a great experience. It was very capable. I remember noting that parking it overnight in the cold really didn't do much to the range. Now, to be fair, it's got a massive battery, 390 miles for the extended range of 460 for the max range.
Wow.
So it takes a lot to diminish that by a percentage. But that was great.
But a percentage is quite a few miles.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Sure.
So I remember experiencing the public fast charging at an Electrify America station outside of Albany.
This is not a sponsored podcast.
It was great.
Could be.
It actually could add 100 miles of range in about 10 minutes, so we weren't stopped very long.
Wow.
It was nice to be up high. It was nice to be in a big vehicle, and of course, it was extremely comfortable as well, which is great when it's cold outside and you don't want to be, waiting outside while the car charges. So yeah, all around, a good one for snow.
And cheaper than the Defender Octa.
Yeah, true.
Just barely.
I did not expect it to be one of the cheaper ones on the list, but that is true.
Yeah, wow.
So, Natalie,
affordable.
It's like 110, I think.
I'm getting a Silverado EV.
Oh, yeah.
On loan
I have one right now.
On Tuesday next week. So the week that this podcast is publishing. And I'm planning on going 120 miles north into New Hampshire.
You're going to be fine.
And coming back.
What kind of tires does it have on it?
Well, I guess my question is there's not a ton of chargers in northern New Hampshire. Should I feel confident taking this thing up in early February into New Hampshire and turn 250-mile round trip?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah,
all right.
I think you're
Matt,
fine.
right now in the driveway, I have the Silverado EV Trail Boss.
Yeah, but it's
with the max
70
range battery.
degrees where you are,
It
Dave.
is. It's
This is a
definitely.
snow
I just
episode.
wanted you to know it's super warm. Yeah.
But Dave, not in your driveway now. You're bringing something else to the conversation.
So my truck for the snow and is the Ford F-150. I went with the Tremor. You don't have to do the Tremor, but here's why. In addition to it being, like we said, a truck that has four-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive, ground clearance, all the things. As someone who grew up in upstate New York, a place where they salt the ever-loving crap out of the roads, What is unique about the Ford is that its body is made out of aluminum. If you drive around upstate New York or Detroit or anywhere that uses salt, you know that the bodies, especially the beds of trucks, rust out. I mean, you'll see, I'm not kidding, you'll see it on trucks that are 2 years old starting to rust. So I'm thinking, all right, you're putting me in snow, you're putting me in a climate where they're going to use salt in the roads. Give me a Ford, which has an aluminum body and will not rust in the same way as other trucks. Plus, it has all the snow capabilities when you drive it.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. When you said that, you got a collective from us. So
I'm so
cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking holistically.
It's like 4D chess over here.
You know what? It's a panel of experts here. Now it's my turn.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I'm bringing a car that is pretty different. I guess it's closer to the Jeep in size. It's the Ford Maverick. I'm bringing the Ford Maverick, and I'll tell you why.
So cute.
The little guy, and that's why I'm bringing it, because the Defender Octa, as you know, it's very wide, impossible to park on these streets. I'm telling you, I should put a picture of my street up here, because it's barely enough for the Defender itself, let alone find parking. Luckily, I have a driveway, but if you didn't. So the Ford Maverick is just much more manageable to get through. And I'm coming from the perspective of a city dweller in a snowy area. So for me, the 2025 Ford Maverick was the first time, I believe, you could get the hybrid with all-wheel drive. So that's what I'm bringing, is an all-wheel drive hybrid Maverick, because it's a pickup truck. It has a bed, but it's also not humongous. And I think it's super useful when the roads get thinner and thinner and thinner.
It's a great little package. Yeah. It's a great combo.
It's gotten more expensive than it started.
I mean, it's their 30, right?
When it first came out, the hybrid was 20. I don't think that didn't have all-wheel drive, but now
it didn't have all-wheel drive.
It was 20, but now hybrid all-wheel drive, the cheapest you can get it with destination, just under $33,000.
That's what we call a bait and switch.
I didn't say it. Okay, we're coming up on time, but we have one last category. Not everybody wants an SUV or crossover or truck. Some people want cars. As you know, Natalie, you said, what would you say? You've never purchased a crossover or an SUV,
I
right?
have never purchased one.
There are many people, and I'm in my first crossover currently. I've had cars my whole life. So we'll go quickly. Your car and kind of one reason why you're bringing it, right? So we're not doing a whole thing, but same order.
You don't need the whole thing.
Doing a whole thing.
Matt, same order. What car are you bringing and why?
Toyota Prius, because it's available with all-wheel drive, and I think a lot of people don't know that. So you want incredible fuel efficiency, and you need all-wheel drive. Heads up, guys. The Prius.
What's the ground clearance, though?
Sorry, Dave. What was that?
What's the ground clearance? Half an inch?
Less than a Subaru.
All right, who's next?
Great. That was quick. I appreciate that. Natalie, you are up.
BMW 3 Series.
Okay.
I know it tends to be my choice if you're a regular listener, but it's also, again, I've never
owned
a crossover. It's the ultimate driving machine.
With xDrive.
Or I have, with xDrive, yes. It's available with all-wheel drive. I owned an E90 and never had any trouble in the winter on all seasons. My father-in-law is now driving around in an M340i, all over the eastern seaboard every weekend with snow tires and no trouble up to Maine and back and here to babysit on time. So
nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
God bless.
Yeah.
Love it.
Dave, what car are you driving?
Well, because Matt didn't choose a Subaru, I'm going to choose one for him. I'm going Subaru WRX. And one of their key reasons is for 2026, they dropped the base price of the Subaru WRX by over $5,000. So in 2026, you can now get one for $33,600 before destination. That's for an all-wheel drive, reliable, safe, fun to drive little, scooter.
Yeah.
Great in the snow. That to me, that's an easy pick and one that's relatively affordable as cars are getting more expensive every day.
That's a great choice.
Wow.
Yeah, except that we don't have a test drive review of it.
You know what?
So stick around.
My TBD.
As soon as this is over, I'll be calling Subaru. Make sure we can get a WRX. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
The car I am bringing, similar vein, I'm bringing the Volkswagen Golf R.
Oh, we do have a review of that.
Oh, I chose from the list.
What a great choice.
I chose from the list. It's kind of the same reason I'm dealing with a giant vehicle now. It's short. It has all-wheel drive, and it's super fun to drive, but mainly it's small and easy to park when the streets are impossible to park on. So that's
and it has 4.4 inches of ground clearance.
That's the downside. Yeah, it's not great in 2 feet of snow.
Car,
the tarmac.
Yeah. Get some snow tires.
It's not just a car. It's like a particularly
you chose a Prius
car.
Yeah, you chose a Prius.
Prius.
Here.
6
That's
inches.
Like driving
making
trouble.
that up.
So I think we all learned something. Hopefully the listener felt like they learned something. Next week, we have a cool episode. We're doing cars ahead of their time.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun conversation. So if you make it through the storm, come back and listen to that episode. And I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you for sharing your winter stories and your knowledge. And have a great week.
Thank you.